back to my channel, and today we are doing another round of TBR Game of Life, choosing my TBR. Which I would also like to say, I always feel the need to clarify that it's the Adventures edition. It's September, so September Battleathon is happening, and I will of course be participating. I'm going to be on the red team, and basically I just waited until really close to the time, and then I messaged Mel and was like, what team has the least amount of people? And it's the red team, so they get me. But I then realized I actually don't like being on the team with the most people, but I also don't like being on the team with the least amount of people. The third highest number. That's where you want to be, I think. And I'm not there. I'm like, I did not think this through. But anyway, so how did we do last month? At the moment that I'm filming this, I have not finished it, but I actually will. So I read A Dark Shade of Magic, I've read The Shadow Glass, I have just finished The Red Pyramid, I've read A Gathering of Shadows, I've read The 100,000 Kingdoms, I have not read The Labyrinth's Heart or The Throne of Fire, I read Queen of Blood, Conjuring of Light, Blood over Brighthaven, but Throne of Fire is a middle grade. I should not take me that much time to read it at all. My rule that I have is I have to have read all of the books except the last one, as long as I've started the last one. And so I'm going to start Labyrinth's Heart. I'm not going to get the whole way through it, or even that much into it, I don't think, because it's like 600 pages. But I'll be after starting it, and I'll be after finishing everything else, so it counts. I suppose let's just get into the spins. Okay, so we are now on our second island out of the 4. We were on 20 out of 100 down here. So we have 2 out of the 4 tokens, and we finished on our boat space. Okay, let's see how many spins we're going to do this month. 2. I mean, sure. So, spin number 1 of 2. Eight. Okay, see this one, I should probably pick it because I'll be closer to finishing the game. But none of the books on my TBR are set in a different continent. Oh wait. No, I might actually have one. Okay, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So set in another continent. And we will go over here. And that belongs to me now. So obviously, 2 spins. Really nice. I mean, obviously, I'm very competitive, so I'm definitely reading more than 2 books. But 2, that's nice. That's nice. But the very first prompt that I had was set on another continent, and for this one, I'm going to go with The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan. I was about to say by the King Chronicles. Oh, my brain is not working. Anyway, so this is the third and final book, which is actually the shortest. Like, it's only like not even 400 pages, whereas like the first book is like 550. Like, where's the rest of it? But this is the third and final book in the King Chronicles. I've obviously read the first 2 this month, and I'm reading it for a revisiting my past book hauls reading vlog, so I want to get to this. It's not necessarily a 5-star prediction, which is the point of Battleathon, but I'm probably going to read it in the first week when you don't actually have to read the 5 stars, when you have to read, oh, what's our prompt? I really should have looked that up before I started here. Is ours to read some? Ours is has a battle in it, which from just reading the first one, there's going to be plenty of battles in here. So spin number 2. 10. Okay, so we'll just move this up to 30 and 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So color. So we're going to use this to decide on a color. Red. That really works because that's one of the Battleathon prompts. And then spin number 2 was a color, and then we spun the wheel and we got red, which is a bonus prompt. And so I have a couple of red books. I don't think I'm gonna like say, okay, this is the book that I'm reading. So there is one that I'm leaning more towards than the others, and so I'm probably gonna read it. But these are my most read books. That sounds like a completely different saying. So we have The Bone Shard Daughter. Again, not really a 5-star prediction for me. I kind of I'm guessing 4 stars. The other one is Kingsbane. I really need to read these. I read the first book in 2020 and I have not continued. This is a very read book, but I would also need to definitely find a recap online of the first book. So yeah, but again, that's like another one I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star. And then last is Ashes of the Sun, which I know is like, it's pretty white, but like the front cover, that's fairly red, so I think that counts. And this one is the one that I'm leaning more towards because it's like, I'm pretty sure like one of the only books on my entire physical TBR that I also have access to the audiobook for. Oh, also I do need to read Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence. I think it's the US cover, has a red cover, and I don't own that book physically, so I can use any copy. So that would also be smart to use that. Because I actually have to read that book. No, I'm probably gonna go with this one, let's be honest. Because out of all of these, I feel like this one has the most chance of being a 5-star. And as I said, I do have the audiobook available for me, which will make it go quicker. So, so I'm kind of leaning towards this one. These are my books that I have to read. And even then, I'm willing to switch this out. So, yeah, so bye. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna talk more because this is what we're talking about. So obviously, the first prompt for the red team, I think, is a book with a battle, which, as I said, I think the King of Photos book will have that. And then also, in the first week of the month, I probably want to read Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence. So I didn't tell you what any of these books were about, did I? Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Third and final book in the Kane Chronicles series follows a brother and a sister, and their father takes them to the British Museum, and he accidentally blows up the Rosetta Stone, and they get introduced to the world of Egyptian mythology. Then Bone Shard Daughter, I don't know what this is about. I think the Emperor has this specific kind of like bone magic. He's refusing to teach his daughter. She takes it upon herself to learn it. Kingsbane, sequel to Fury Born, follows 2 girls centuries apart, and both of them might be part of the same prophecy. And then Ashes of the Sun, I don't know what this is about. I think kind of Star Wars inspired. It follows a brother and a sister again, and the sister was taken by the Empire when she was young and trained by them, and then the brother is, I think, one of the rebels. First week, I'll be reading this so I can get that vlog out. Then I will, and then also, hopefully the first week, I'm going to read Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence, because again, I imagine this will have a battle in it. I think it will fit a couple of the bonus prompts. Like, I think, is it like, I think our bonus prompt might be like backlist or something, which we're literally reading it for the backlist book club, so that fits. And this is the sequel to Red Sister, which follows Nona, and she is about to get executed for killing someone, and then a nun comes along and takes her life, and then she goes and gets trained to be basically an assassin nun, kind of. Again, I'm trying to read that in the first week because that's the week when you don't actually need 5 stars, you just need to fill the prompts, and I don't think that's going to be a 5-star. I do think I could potentially like it more than the first book, which is a 3-star for me, but I don't see it going higher than a 4. And even then, after the last live show, I think, was it Mel and Cassidy were both saying something about like either a trope or a character or something, and they're like, you might not like that. And I'm like, I suppose we'll actually get into the 5-star predictions. I'm not particularly good at 5-star predictions. I think this year I've given 8 out maybe, and almost all of them are sequels. So, and I'm also pretty good at keeping up with series. So like all of the series that I really love, I'm like, I am up to date on you. Except for a couple. So we're going to talk about my 5-star predictions, which is basically the rest of my month's TBR. Okay, so the first 5-star prediction we're going to talk about is Labyrinth's Heart. And as I mentioned, this was technically on my TBR for August, and oh my god, the text is small in here. Oh my god, no. It's so small. This is the 3rd and final book in the Brooke and the Rose series, and as I mentioned, I'm going to read like the first like chapter. I'm not going to get a huge chunk into it, so I think it counts if I read the rest of it. If like, you know, the first like 10 pages or something I've read in August, I think it'll count because it's like 650 pages and the text is absolutely tiny. So I think it counts. I gave the first book a low 4 stars, and then the second book really surprised me. I love the second book. I gave that a 5 stars. And so because of that, I'm a little more nervous about this, because I'm like, well, I only gave the first book a low 4 stars, but I now am at the point where I really love and care about the characters. Give this a leg up to being a 5-star. And as I said, it was on my most anticipated releases of the year, and it is supposed to be in a vlog where I read Blood Over Brighthaven, so I'm gonna have to wait just a little while longer to read this, and it is a 5-star prediction. So this series follows Ren, and she is a con woman, and she has returned to the city where she was born, and she is impersonating a noblewoman, and she makes her way into this house, and then she discovers that maybe this family is not as wealthy as they might seem, and she ends up getting involved in all of the politics of the lower classes, the upper classes, and trying to help this family kind of turn their fortune around. And I'm kind of scared about this book. Like, I'm scared of how it goes, but the people I've seen who really love the series have said that this is like such a good conclusion, but I'm still scared. So this one is a bit more of a risk, because I think it might be a standalone. I have read from this author before, but it's a completely different world, story, all of that, which makes me a little more, I might necessarily love this. And that is The Witch King by Martha Wells. It is a 5-star prediction though. I think a lot of people went in with like high epic fantasy expectations, and then ended up getting let down. Whereas like, I was never planning to go in with those expectations. I was going in with like kind of chaotic characters that I will love. And from what I can tell, that is what this book has. So this follows Kai. Yeah. And he's a demon, and he was murdered and imprisoned, and then he wakes up and he decides to figure out what the hell happened. And as I said, I'm expecting it to be very character driven, kind of chaotic probably. And I feel like that sounds like a fun time. 2 more anticipated releases to talk about, and those are both coming out in September. Unfortunately for me, they are both coming at the end of September, but I'm going to fly through both of them, no problem. What's the date? Is it like the 26th or something? But, so they will probably be the last books that I read in the month. But I should probably be able to read the 2 of them over a weekend, let's be honest. So the first one is The Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan, and this is the 6th book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, / kind of a spin-off. It is a first-person perspective book from Percy Jackson. I have mixed opinions on Rick Riordan's books. I have read the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I have really enjoyed that. What ratings did I give them? 4, 3, 5, 5, 4.5. I don't give 4.5s anymore, so I'd probably give the last book a 5-star. And then Heroes of Olympus, I gave a 3, 4, 4, 4, 3. And even then, I think the last book probably should have been a 2. And now I'm reading the King Chronicles, and let's just say, I'm really enjoying them, because those have the same like chaotic energy that the original Percy Jackson and the Olympian books do. So I'm hoping that he brings that back. I'm hoping he brings back the chaotic energy that Percy Jackson, you know, in first person perspective. I hope he brings that back. And if he does, I'm going to have a great time. Let's talk about my most anticipated release of the year. Fragile Threads of Power is coming out, guys. Obviously, I have reread all of the books now. I'm ready. I'm so ready. But also, I'm terrified. I'm so scared. I own multiple editions. They're right here, right beside me. I love them a lot. So I think it follows our original cast of characters, as well as I think it's 2 new characters. And I think it's mainly their story, but like our old cast still has like a major part to play. And I'm so scared that she's gonna kill them. If that's not a 5-star, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Have a breakdown? I don't know. There's 2 more books that are almost definitely guaranteed to be 5 stars. And I have been putting them off for over a year. Those 2 books are Fool's Quest and Assassin's Fate by Robin Hobb. The last 2 books in the Farseer world, well, she has said that she's writing more. She's been saying that for a while though, and I know that she's writing slower because she has arthritis and stuff. So like, who knows when we'll get another installment. But I know, in my heart, I know what's gonna happen. I don't want it to happen. I'm okay with not reading this. But also, like, I love the series. I'm gonna give them 5 stars. The problem is, I'm trying to figure out what's the best order to read these in. because obviously a lot of these are very much anticipated releases, they're final books. I'm like, I'm very afraid of getting a book hangover, but especially with these ones. And so I was planning on leaving them to be the very last books that I read, but Chalice of the Gods and Fragile Threads of Power don't come out until really close to the end of the month. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to fit all 4 of those books within like the last like 4 days of the month. That's not happening. So I'm definitely going to try and read this pretty early, and then I might try and save this for like the last 2-3 days of the month and try and absolutely power through it. Because I know this book will break me, and it will be very hard for me to read after it. So yeah. So obviously there's only 2 that I have to read for my TBR game, but also add on to this Grey Sister, Fragile Threads of Power, and Chalice of the Gods. And then I'm gonna, as I said, these are probably all of the books that I will read. Well, these also I have the audiobook for, and this I also have the audiobook, but like this, these 2, Chalice of Gods and Fragile Threads of Power, those will probably all be physical reads, to be honest. So I'm then probably gonna like try and get some audiobooks just while like on the bus and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is like terrifying and very exciting TBR for me. Like, this could be my best reading month ever. Not even page wise, just like rating wise. But I'm scared. So yes, so thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.